You've been training for 13 years. What's kept you coming back? Why haven't you quit?
It's like the best medicine you can get, you know? The puzzle changes daily. Uh that's if you challenge yourself. If you just go on the mats and just kind of, man, I'm just going through the motions and you think you're getting better, having those days where you got a plan when you go on the mats, know that you want to work on certain things. There's always going to be, when you go on the mats, there's always going to be a lesson. Like when I go and train at my professor's gym, I don't know what the lesson's going to be that day. I always try to utilize the lessons that I learned that day. But you're always going to be working on things for yourself as well. And when you get those opportunities to put yourself in those positions, those are your challenges, and you're trying to complete that puzzle. And then when you complete one piece, the next one comes comes at you, like you got another piece of the puzzle you need to fix. And I think that's what keeps me coming back. The challenge, constant challenge.
Love that. Yeah, the challenge is great and it's kept me coming back as well. So for a lot of people, they come up to me and they're like, "Oh, that's so cool that you do jujitsu. Like I'd love to come train with you." And then they kind of get intimidated because they're like, "Well, I don't want to compete or I don't want to become a UFC fighter or do MMA." So something I wanted to ask you was for somebody who just kind of wants to come in and have fun or maybe do something after work, get a little bit of exercise in, why would they want to do jujitsu?
Man, that's a good question because I just had a guy call me the other day and he said, I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to work out. I want to do something different for a workout. And I think that's why jujitsu is so unique is you can get on the mat, you can get a sweat, and you don't even realize you're doing something because you're so focused on the task that's in front of you, like the move that you're trying to complete or getting the steps correct, that you're doing a workout and you don't even realize it. Where if somebody tells you, hey, you're going to do 15 push-ups, by the time you get to 8, you're going, oh man, I got more to do. And it's really challenging for a person, especially if they're out of shape. They're too busy thinking about the reps they have to finish instead of, like, when they're on the mats, they're thinking about the move that they're doing, protecting themselves. That's one of the top things that I make sure all of our students know when they come through the door is like, hey, my first priority is to teach you how to protect yourself. And I don't mean like self-defense either. I mean how you get up off the floor, the position you put yourself in when somebody's sitting in side control on top of you. One of the most common things that happen to people when they start jujitsu is they let somebody get on top of them and they turn wrong and they tweak their upper back or their neck or their ribs, and then they think that they've got something major wrong with them, which usually a chiropractor visit or a few days off will fix it, but it scares them, because all of us have to get up and go to work the next day. So make sure that when you're going to train jujitsu, that you find a place or a teammate that knows how to keep you safe first, and then just enjoy it. You know, enjoy that workout, enjoy that pressure that gets put on you to complete those tasks. And I think that's the best advice I could give for somebody. That's exactly what I tell new students to come in the door every day is we want to make sure you're safe first and you're comfortable, and then we're going to teach you in a process that's going to help you get to the goals that you want to achieve.
Right. Most people, when they just go to the gym and lift weights, they're not actually challenging themselves. They're not challenging themselves in the way that you would in jujitsu or something similar. So that's why, for me, I got bored of lifting weights and wanted to do something different. And that's the challenge that a lot of people probably could also pursue with something like jujitsu.
Yes, absolutely. And I was that guy. Out of high school, I weighed about 135 pounds. Uh, yeah, I played basketball, and basketball was over. I didn't have a challenge in my life anymore. Um, I kind of went down of like partying a little bit, which I shouldn't have done. But I think everybody dabbles in that a little bit. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start lifting weights. I'm gonna get big. And I did. I got pretty big. It was a challenge, but I also had somebody training with me that was bigger and stronger than me. And then when they decided to quit lifting, then guess what happened? I didn't have that chase anymore. That person I was trying to catch. Um, so it made it very difficult to keep staying on that path. When that path kind of kind of fizzled out for me, I didn't really have anything. So getting back into jujitsu around 2012, 2013, you always had a challenge to chase because there's always somebody better than you on the mats. I don't care where you go, you're always going to have somebody better than you. And then if you don't have somebody better than you better be lifting the people up around you to make them so you have a challenge, which is what I've had to always do because I've been a school owner. So I've always had to kind of lift the my students up around me, make them better, put myself in challenging positions so I can constantly keep getting better as well. And then they get better. But yeah, I've been down that road, tried the lifting weights. It only lasts for so long, before you kind of get burnt out on that, going to the gym every day.